Out of the 4 videos that will be, holy crap, that will be on this account after the time of posting this. This is the second one where I've been wearing this sweater, and maybe I'm too conscious of it, but I really like it. Got it for Christmas. So don't point that out. Anyway, I'll just bear the pointing it out myself. I am a reader now. That's like a thing in my life that is new. I'm trying to read. I think I spend a lot of time reading textbooks, a lot of chemistry, a lot of biology, and when I'm not doing that, just kind of goofing around. I'm playing Mario Galaxy on my Switch lately. Probably gonna get the Switch 2 soon, hopefully. And I run, I lift, I do a lot of good things with my time, but I also scroll a good bit and I play too many video games over breaks. And so I'm kind of like, I woke up, it's 5:45 in the morning right now. I woke up at 3, I set an alarm. I went to bed at like 10, set an alarm for 7, told myself I was gonna get up, go do my thing, have my day ahead of me. I woke up at 3. And what did I do when I woke up this morning? Well, I did my quiet time, read John 2 and Isaiah 58. Just gotten the good word for a little while. Talked to Jesus. And then I proceeded to read this for about an hour and a half. So not a lot, not a super long time. But this has been my kind of kickoff into a new era of reading. I have read a lot of books in my time, but most of them are Christian self-help books. So, and I think that's just a funny way of putting it, but it's a lot of like, all of these books are books I would recommend to anyone to read, and because they're great, they're very helpful. But like, delighting in the Trinity, enjoying God, gentle and lowly, the soul of shame, mere Christianity, and the list just goes on. All of these random, like, very not random, but these very helpful Christian books that are all like, explain this phenomenon, how do we work through it? Explain this thing, how do we work through it? Or explain some sort of theology. On my bookshelf right here is the Institutes of the Christian Religion by John Calvin. I have read maybe 2 pages of it. It's very big, and I'm kind of afraid to like get into it big time. Pretty much all of my book reading is that. In high school, I read Lord of the Flies my senior year, and I loved it. I felt like I was really entranced by the story. I loved the theme, I loved the message, I loved the characters, and I really liked how it was this fictionalized story where I got to interpret it and understand it. Like, it was just awesome. I also read 1984 that same semester, and I really liked that. And I read Frankenstein by Mary Shelley that same semester, and I really liked these. I was taking AP English Literature, so I was reading all of these really good, like, classic books, and I got into it. But I only did it because I had to. And I have like a philosophy-esque minor at my university. It's not actually titled philosophy. It's like its own department that's like it's centered around philosophy. And I have to read a lot of like excerpts for that class. So like I had to read some of the Spoke Zarathustra by Nietzsche, and I had to read Xenophon, The Education of Cyrus. I had to read a good bit of Plato, like one excerpt from the Republic, which was just like the Glaucon speech, and then an excerpt from Plato's Laws. So a lot of reading that I have to do that's really academic, and I don't feel like I've made as much margin in my life for reading fiction for fun. So I was like, okay, I need to do something for fun. So what did I do? I go to Barnes & Noble, I buy Homer's Odyssey, never read it before. And then I also bought Machiavelli's The Prince because my professor talked up that book a lot. And then I was completely like, what am I? And I recorded a video wearing this in the same position, talking about that book very loosely. But basically, if you are a reader, please recommend me good books. Right now, I really want to read like classics. Recommend to me like good books. My list, I just bought a copy of the Iliad, so that's like next up. So I'll read the Iliad, however you say it. But my goal, and I know this doesn't sound like a lot because I know a lot of people are like, oh, I could read that in a week. Like I probably could have finished the Odyssey within a week, but I bought it like a couple days after Christmas. It's January 6th, so I spent like 2 weeks really. But I'm slow, and I'm about to start a really tough semester, taking Organic Chemistry 2, Cell Bio, and then a bunch of philosophy classes. So I'm not going to have a ton of free time. However, one of my goals for the coming semester is that I read, I don't know why I've been talking with my voice so high. It's because everyone's asleep. My goal is to read 3 books outside of class, because my class I have to read like a ton of reading to do. A lot of Plato, a lot of the Bible, funny enough. The Bible is my textbook this semester. But anyway, a lot of reading to do for class, not a lot of time to myself, a lot of studying, a lot of homework, a lot of papers I gotta write. So I'm gonna read 3 books for fun. I don't know if I'll count the Odyssey because I am on page 301, so I've got like 150-ish pages left. So give me some recommendations. I've already got one on the list. Like I said, Iliad. I'm thinking maybe I've heard Wuthering Heights is really good. I know it also gets overhyped. But I'm just kind of brainstorming. Like, what should I read next? It's gotta be fiction. I don't want anything like. Yeah, it's gotta be fiction. It's just gotta be really good. Like I want to be invested in the characters. Like it could be like Brave New World. I have no idea what I'm getting into. I just know that it's like 1984-esque. I'm probably gonna make a video on the Odyssey once I finish it, just because I have loved it. But with that being said, you should start reading. It's really, really good for your mind. I think it's really helpful as a Christian reading non-Christian books. The Odyssey was written in freaking God knows when. I actually have no idea when this book was written. Some 600 BC, 8th century BC, I want to say. That's way before Jesus. And this guy was talking about all these fake gods that, all these people believed in. And it's really interesting. It's just interesting to read about what people believed in at this time. in this culture, because the Greeks, you know, they were always trying to figure out justice. And so they were like, oh, what if there were like gods that were like kind of concerned with what we talk about? And so it's fun coming from a background where I've read like a little bit of Plato, like I've read part of the Republic on my own time. And then that was actually this past month. And then I started reading this, but I was like, this is so much more fun than reading people argue about philosophy. With that being said, I think it also helps make you more empathetic, because you are reading someone else's perspective. You're reading multiple people's perspectives. Someone told me like reading good fiction helped them become more empathetic, and then I proceeded to start reading Perelandra by C.S. Lewis. I think that might be one of the books I go back to, because I never read it. It's fiction. It's Christian fiction, but it's all like, it's very like allegorical. I really appreciate like allegorical fiction. Part of the story that I didn't share, during this past semester, this place at my school had like a book giveaway, and it was kind of just like a free-for-all, like any of the students can just take from this bookshelf. I got a little handsy with it, okay? I got a little greedy. I took like 3 or 4 books. One of them was The Great Gatsby. I read the entire thing, which is it's not a very long book. It's probably a third of the length of the Odyssey, and I loved it. My fall break, which was like mid-October, I was on a hiking trip with a bunch of my friends, and not really a hiking trip, but we're in the mountains, and I sat in a hammock, finished the book, just like massive blow through the last little bit, and I felt like I had accomplished something, but I also was like, wow, like I don't want to be like this guy. So it teaches you a lot about how not to be, how to be, how to be more empathetic, and it's just fun. Like it's genuinely entertaining when you see things in your mind's eye, and you're like, oh, like I'm listening, or I have like these images in my head of like this big one-eyed giant stumbling around through this like big damp dark cave, and he's got this screw going through his eye, and all these guys are like running around. They're like, yes, we just blinded this giant, and they're like, everyone's like, it's so much more entertaining than just being given it. It's not as rewarding in the moment, but after, when you're like thinking about it, it's like, wow, I just like, it almost feels like you came up with it. Like you didn't come up with the story, but it's completely up to you to interpret it. And I think there's something really special there with reading that I don't think I'd ever appreciated in my like academic reading in high school, now in college even, a little bit more in college. I've enjoyed it more. But like, give reading a chance. Read long novels. This has been just awesome. Like, I understand the hype behind the Odyssey, and why this is like such a historic book. Like we've had this for almost 3,000 years. This book is almost 3,000 years old, and it is still cherished, which is just crazy. It's just crazy. Like people still read this, people still study it. So read novels, and again, leave some comments. Recommend me some fiction books. I'll add them to the list. I think over summer I want to read The Count of Monte Cristo. I know that's basic. It's getting a lot of hype on Instagram right now, but it seems awesome. Like I've just heard it's only good. I've only heard good things. It's just like 1,000,000 pages long. But yeah,